Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special St Lucian Independence version of the Game Changers podcast. My name is Quinn Segis, and it's a privilege and pleasure to be here with you as usual. My next guest is a young man who is truly transformative. You will hear how he took his life from the military to owning his own distillery. His name is Sylvester Herman, and I can't wait to introduce him to you. Like I said, this is part of a special St. Lucian Independence series where we focus on St. Lucians in the diaspora really changing their lives. Anyhow, I hope you enjoy the episode. But before you go and watch this episode, I would like to showcase our special edition St. Lucian Independence merch. It is available online at our website at www.gamechangers758.com/shop, or it is available locally in St. Lucia for only $50. Get your merch, rep your pride, and be a game changer. Anyhow, enjoy the episode. Hello, Sylvester. How are you, man?
Hey, Devin, I'm there. Freezing.
Wow. What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Scotland. I'm in west of Scotland, just 20 minutes outside of Glasgow. Yeah, in Dunbar.
So freezing weather.
Yeah.
Freezing weather.
Especially this week. This week being -3 degrees Celsius, -3 Celsius. Been cold. Everything been frozen.
Wow. All right, bro. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Some general information.
Yeah. Born in Saltibus. I'm from Saltibus.
Oh, wow.
Born in Saltibus. Grew up in Saltibus. I went to Saltibus Primary. After Saltibus Primary, I went to Beaufort Sec. Graduation year of 2000. Man like Darren Summy and your boy Dupes. Saltibus grew and then spent some time in PI, lived in PI for a while, stayed in New York, worked with the American military, worked with the British military, worked with also Scottish police force. What I do now is I own my own distillery. I'm a distiller.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is I'm already seeing that must be an interesting story. So everything you mentioned was either military or police, and then all of a sudden you just dropped that you own your own distillery on us. What is the story behind that, Sylvester? Tell us.
Yeah, after 9/11, I was living in New York. And everybody got patriotic. All Americans got patriotic. And everybody was joining the military. The thing about it, if you notice, my accent is a little bit of a melange, a little bit of a mix and match type accent.
Right.
So in New York, it was not racism, but it was anybody who had an accent was a terrorist. Basically, suspicious of a terrorist as a terrorist, because you have an accent, you don't sound American, and I'm not talking black or white or no specific race. Is you have an accent, do the government know you about type of thing, basically.
Wow.
So during that time, I found it quite difficult moving around America and so on and so forth. And my accent, I never go away. I don't lose my accent. So about 2004, 2005, I met a girl and she decided to join the American military. And I don't know about you, but I follow.
All right.
I follow. And in the form of following, during the time when I was following, she basically finished her basic training, and it was like, yeah, you're going to Germany. That's where your base will be.
Wow.
It was like, oh, so we can't go, so we're gonna go to Germany together. They were like, no, you can't go together until you're married.
Wow.
If you're not married, you cannot go. You can't go to Germany. You could fly on your own, but we're not gonna pay for nothing. You do your own paperwork, everything. They did tell us that same day we walk into what the name of the office where you sign paperwork. We walk in there. We got married. And a month later, I was in Germany.
Wow.
with the American military. Um, so that happened. I spent quite a few years doing as a military contractor, doing a few things, here and there, getting things done. In 20, I don't remember the exact year. My time in Germany was done with the American military, but because of what I went through after 9/11, I refused to go back to America. I refused to go back to New York, and that's the only place I knew was New York. I refused. I did not want to go back to New York. So I decided I'm going to take a week break and I'm going to go to London, just go and chill out, take a week break, think of what I want to do. I didn't save any money during that time, so I couldn't go to St Lucia in terms of I had nothing to bounce back on. So I couldn't go to St Lucia. I had a little bit of money, but not enough, nothing. And I didn't have a career in St Lucia. I didn't have anything in St Lucia. By then I was out of St Lucia for at least 7 years by then. And then, so I went to London for a week by myself, don't even know nobody in London, don't know nothing in London. And I'm walking around through London in the middle, Trafalgar Square, where the guy on the horse, I think it's Trafalgar Square. I walked there and I saw places, careers office. In America, careers office is what we call over here, job center. Where if you need a job, you walk in. But that's what I thought it was. I thought it was like where you go to get a job, any type of job. So I walked in, not knowing that it's a recruiting office for the British military.
Wow.
It's a recruiting office. So the guys were like, yeah, this is the jobs we have. This. What are you doing here? Who are you? I was like, wait a minute. Because I was amongst military personnel in Germany, it didn't really faze me. I was like, yeah, what's going on? But I guess they're in the same place. And they're like, yeah, this is, and I was thinking, yeah, they maybe just try and catch me before I go to the next place and see what other jobs there is. So I walked through and then I saw there was nobody else but all military in there. Air Force, Army, everybody was there. So I walked in, they're like, yeah, what's your name? I sat down, what's your name? I was like, yeah, I gave them my name. I was like, what you do? I was like, yeah, I'm with the American military, based in Germany. And some sort of they're like, then you're no good. Then, if you're with the American military, we cannot really mess with you. But then one of the guys was like, wait a minute. He's got an accent. Where is he from? And they're like, I was like, yeah, I'm from St. Lucia. They're like, you still got a St. Lucian passport? I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay. We could work with you. We could work with you. I was like, yeah, but I'm not looking to join the military. I'm just looking to see if there's other opportunities there. They're like, you know, the sales pitch. They give you the sales pitch. Like, this is the greatest opportunity, all that good hype up. They hype it up nice.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I don't think so. I'll walk. I'm going to go. They're like, no, just take the test. Take the BAB test. The BAB test is the pre-entry test just to see what your IQ is and stuff like that. They're like, just take the test. If nothing happens, it doesn't matter. Just take the test, see where you sit. Let's see what's up. So I did the test. It takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Do the test. They grade it. They're like, based on the test, this is what you have. Engineer, this and that. You've got engineering, freaking signals, loads of different jobs. They gave me, and I was like, yeah, which one of these jobs would guarantee me going back to Germany and staying in Germany? Because Germany is all I know. I don't know the UK. I'm just here on vacation. They're like, none of them. I was like, you see, that's why I cannot stay. I have to go. You're like, however, we have a job that's permanently and is guaranteed that you're permanently based in Germany if you want to. I was like, show me then. And they showed me the infantry. They showed me the rifles. Rifles. I was like, I was like, you know, yeah, let me hear more about it. I listened more about it. Long story short, I just tell them, hey, if y'all really want me, give me a call. I have to go back at the end of the week. Give you a call. And if y'all really want me and let me know. So they're like, okay, we'll let you know. So I went back to Germany at the end of the week. By like 2 weeks later, they're like, yeah, we want you. If you want to come, if you want to join, we want you in March 2008. And I literally got on the plane in March of 2008. Jump on a train with just a small amount of stuff, whatever the list of stuff, only the list of stuff they sent me. And I joined the British military. I was in Catterick in no time. And true to their promise, as soon as I finished in November of that year, they sent me straight to Germany, straight back to Germany. However, they sent me to the unit. When they sent me to the unit, that unit was going straight to Iraq. So as soon as I learned in Germany, 2 weeks, just fresh myself up, get used to everything, on a plane, straight to Kuwait, straight into Iraq. I did Iraq. Iraq was good. It was good. It was not good, but it was, if I'm talking to other military personnel, I say it was good, they'll understand what I meant. It was tough, but it was okay. Came back, became a fitness instructor. Basically, I like bragging about it. I had an hour of power every day. I was the highest ranking person on the camp every day for 1 hour. I was on all arms PTI. Did that. And at the end of around 2014, I felt like, my luck is running out. That's after doing, Afghanistan and about to go back to Afghanistan again. I was like, my luck is going to run out. I need to sign out of this thing. I signed out, moved to, well, you wouldn't believe it. Another thing that happened there is another human in it.
Wow. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So yeah, I met this girl after 2012 in Crete in Greece, and 2012, and then it kind of cemented the idea that I need to leave the military. And she's from Scotland, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna sign out. I'm gonna move to Scotland, see how the things is there. But so when I left in 2014, I'd never lived in the UK. I never, basically, apart from the basic training in the UK, I never moved back to the UK. I never did anything in the UK. I know Germany better than I know the UK at that time. So I didn't know what I had to do, what I could have done, when, where. So I was like, the police must be like the army. I'm gonna join it. It must be like the army. It's similar discipline, everything. It must be the same thing. You know what I mean? Despite how anti-police I grew up,
Yeah.
But when I joined it, everything was good. I got loads of commendation because my training, I was fit and I did everything. I got loads of commendation from the officers, the training officers. And I joined in my unit, and it was kind of like the worst experience I've had, really. Compared to militaries, it was quite tough. Yeah. So around 2016, at the end of 2015, my dad passed away.
Got you.
He's from Lamaze, on Choiseul side there. The thing about it is not that I couldn't make it back to St Lucia. It's not that I couldn't make it, not that I couldn't afford to go or anything. I just didn't go to the funeral. I didn't. I treated it like all the military funerals I've been through. Like all my comrades and everything. I was like, I'm not going to another funeral. I can't take this no more. If you've been to a funeral, you know what I mean, man. If you go to a funeral so often with people that you know, and so on, so I was like, I cannot take it no more. I cannot do another one of these. And the night of the funeral, I was sitting right here in this house here where I am, right, and I broke down. I regret. I don't do regrets. And most St. Lucians don't do regrets neither, but
no,
I don't. I definitely do my St. Lucian thing. No regrets. That's it. No regrets.
Yeah.
And that night was the closest I got to ever regretting anything in my life. Well, I regretted, basically. I full on regretted not going down to St. Lucia for the funeral. And to see everybody. So that night, I put pen on paper. I wrote everything I knew about my father, everything I knew about him, everything that he taught me, everything that thing, and it all revolved around rum. He had a cabaret. He had a cabaret in Lamaze. He used to make his own little abacotware. You know what I mean? He used to do this thing, and everything he taught me revolved around rum. So I wrote all that down. I wrote everything down just to get me through that hard time, just because my head was in a bad place. I was just write it. By December of that year, I had a full business plan about rum, how to make a whole rum venture. And in January 2016, I launched Scotland's first modern rum company. Very first registered rum company in Scotland, in 2016. And that's how, but in saying that, let me finish the bit about the police first, and then it will answer the question you asked there, where I went from police all the way to rum.
Mm-hmm.
So I launched the company, and then I was asking I told my commander, yeah, because you have to declare any business you have as a police officer in Scotland. Right. So I decided I'm gonna declare it. I'm gonna declare this business, and I am gonna do it proper, because I'm all about doing everything proper. I went to speak to my commander, and I told him, yeah, I need to register. My sergeant was like, yeah, go speak to the commander. I went to the commander and say, hey, I have this business. I would like to register it. The man, he looked at me in my face and he tell me, no chance, not an effing chance that you're gonna get permitted to do that. I was like, why? He's like, no chance. It's alcohol, no chance. And I told him, hey, there's this lady who's in the police. She's doing bear. How is she doing bear? Why can't I do my thing? And he's like, no chance. And he's like, the process, we're not even gonna go through the process. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I looked at him and I tell him, where don't you like it? I'm doing it. Literally, he thought like the police I treated as a career. He doesn't understand my mindset. You know what I mean? I've already been through too much things. You're not stopping. I literally told him, you're not stopping me. Right?
Lucian had that hard-headedness.
hey, without hard-headedness, you don't have success.
You're right.
So I decided to jump thus in the military. It's unheard of. You don't go over a rank over anybody. And that was me going through the ranking system, doing the military thing, being a nice person. I just went 3 ranks above him, and I sent it straight to the area commander, sent my declaration straight to the area commander, and told the area commander what I want. The area commander sent me a set of paperwork saying, this is what the standard operating procedures are if you have an alcohol business, as long as you're not selling alcohol directly to the public, send alcohol directly to the public, and you don't own majority of shares in the company. I was like, easy. You know what I mean? And also, as long as you don't have any licenses in your name, because the police have to approve licenses, so it's a conflict of interest. So I was like, easy. So I followed all that. I registered my business. I put the shares here and there. I split everything up, make sure that I am not majority of shares. And I went back to police work. I kept on doing my police work. No matter how tough and how much I hated it, I kept on doing it. I kept doing that. Every time the BBC shout me up, the BBC find out I was doing doing rum, they shout me up. They're like, yeah, there's an interview. Would you like to make an interview? We can ask you a few questions. I was like, I'm not allowed to talk anything about me selling rum, but I'm able to talk about rum on the whole. And they're like, yeah, that's good. And you could tell us a little bit more about rum and so on. So I was like, yeah, I could do that. So I do that. Radio stations were calling me up. I was doing interviews. So every time I do one of these interviews on air, the police would be like, hold up, what are you doing? I was like, I didn't sell anybody rum. I am from St Lucia. I was born in a rum barrel. I could talk about rum as much as the sun could stay up, basically, and that. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, so every time I do this interview, they pull me up, but then in order for them to come to a conclusion and close that case, because when they pull me up, it's not just like pull up and then you go back to work. 6 months, they'll put you behind a computer. Paperwork, just literally doing paperwork, staying behind a computer. You're not allowed to see the public because you did something you did that. And every time after 6 months, they did that. I did about 9 interviews and 9 type of public, type of things. About 9 times they put me on the bench, and I was not injured. I was willing to work and go out on the road and do my thing. And they put me 6 months at a time, and they come back at the end of 6 months and give me a piece of paper and tell me, hey, you could go back to work now. Just like that. One day not at the front of the desk, the next day I have to go back to work. No type of nothing. And over the 7 years, they did it about 6 to 9 times. They did that. On the last time in 2019, middle of COVID just start. Well, no, 2020, COVID just start. Just start. They do the same thing. I was like, okay, I will take that. I understand. I know the process already. I'll take it. So at the end of the 6 months sitting on the bench, no, I didn't wait for the 6 months to sit on the bench. I went home. I say, I'm sick. I went home. I was like, I'm not doing this again. And then I started writing my resignation letter, like 4 months in. Started writing my resignation letter, put it on the side. I'm waiting for them to call me to tell me to come back to work. When they call me and they tell me to come back to work, they give me that same piece of paper that they always give me. And then I give them my piece of paper. I was like, thank you. I'm not putting that uniform on. I'm going. Yeah. And in the meantime, Island Slice, every time they put me on the bench for that 6 months, I had to stop everything, even with Island Slice. I didn't think. If I had think ahead, every time they give us 6 months, I should have pushed Island Slice harder. But I did not do that.
Right.
I did not do that. That was a mistake on my part. If I was thinking ahead, I would have done that. But I did not do that. So every time 6 months, I would stop Island Slice, and Island Slice would just dip.
Got you.
So I was tired of that. I was losing Island Slice, and I didn't like the job. So I jumped straight in.
You were losing twice.
I was losing twice, literally. And I think that was the intention. The intention was to break me and break everything that I was doing.
That is really an interesting story. You know, coming from nothing, going through all these hardships, and then creating a rum brand. Now, I personally do not drink. I mean, that's not my thing. But I'm always interested in the craftsmanship behind creating rum. So what is the process like?
With rum, the base product, the definition of rum is quite simple compared to all the other spirits in the world. It's basically anything distilled from the sugarcane plant.
Got you.
Or any byproduct of the sugarcane plant. So because there's no sugarcane growing in Scotland, I use molasses, which is a byproduct of the sugarcane. I use molasses. So
got you.
So the molasses, just very basic rum process is molasses mixed with water, and you pour in yeast, and you let that ferment. Once that's fermented, that you pour that into a pot. We call it a still in the trade.
Yeah.
We pour that into a pot. We boil that, and we extracting the ethanol. We're separating one compound from the other. We're separating ethanol from the rest of the other compounds. We collect that ethanol. Over here, because I'm in Scotland, I always put my rum in a barrel, or I just make a spice rum or a Scotch Bonnet Rum.
So, okay. So you spoke about various types of rum, right? Again, I don't drink. So tell me a little bit about some of the products that you have and, the variations.
Yeah. Also, before I even start, I need to tell you, I don't drink, neither I sip.
Wow. All right, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, so as far as the rum come out of the still, and it's white rum. It comes out about 80% alcohol, quite strong.
Okay.
So that's white rum. But before that become white rum, before I could make it a sellable white rum, I bring it down to about 40%. Most of the purists will look at me and they'll be like, that should be about 45, 50%, not 40%. I bring it down to about 40% by mixing it with water and pouring it over charcoal. Charcoal is just for filtration. And I bought that. So that's my white rum. I have a spice rum, which is a masala chai spice rum. It's literally masala chai spices that's been soaked in the strong rum, and I bring it down to 40%, bottle it. I have a dark rum. The dark rum is basically the white rum at about 60%. From 80%, I bring it down to 60%, and I fill a barrel up, let it age. Once that's aged, I then bottle that and at 40% and sell it as my everyday dark rum. And recently, I launched, not recently, but it's one of my flagships. I launched a Scotch Bonnet Rum, which is just 100% Scotch Bonnet, infused with white rum.
Wow. Spicy.
Well, the idea of it is not to get the spiciness of the pepper, but most people don't know that. The Caribbean knows it, but they don't know why they're doing it. You know, when you cook with Scotch Bonnet, you take the whole Scotch Bonnet, you put it in, and after you finish your stew, you take the Scotch Bonnet out and put it out.
Yeah.
It's flavor, the sweetness, because Scotch Bonnet is a fruit.
Yeah,
Scotch
it
Bonnet
is.
is a fruit, so it has a lot of sweet flavors in there. So we try and extract all these sweet flavors, but not too much of the spice. You want to leave as much of the spice in there, but you want the pepper flavors. You want the sweetness. You want to taste the fruitiness of the pepper. So you get all the pepper flavors, you get all the heat, everything. And it was never supposed to be on the list of my products, but it ended up there.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. That happens sometimes. So let's talk about exportation. I know that the big goal of distilleries is not just to have it in the local market, but to export.
Yeah.
Have you started exporting yet?
Well, since it's 3 years already since 4 years since I left the police. So I'm scaling up at the moment. I'm in the middle of a big scale up. At the moment I'm only producing about 4 barrels, not including the Scotch Bonnet, the spice and the white rum that I normally have. I'm only producing 4 barrels a week at the moment. That's after my scale up, after I left the police. So I'm in the middle of scaling up. I'm aiming to be producing at least 9 barrels a week, 9 to 10 barrels a week. 10 is the goal, but I want to be conservative. 10 barrels a week, and not including my white rum and my dark rum and spice rum. Once I could get to that point, I will have a good capacity then to supply to, because we do have France, we do have Germany, we do have, Scotland, the whole of the UK, including Ireland, Northern Ireland and Ireland. We do have them already that we export into, but we are where we want. I'm not even going to say my lovely island, is America. If we could get America, just a few places. Because remember, we're doing a rum that's very, what's the word I would call it? Like, not, the word is not niche, like it's craft. It's a crafted rum. It's a rum
Got you.
The way I describe the rum is, my dad taught me about how to do this rum based on the rum that was being done by the slaves on the plantation, not just, there is rum, we're making rum. The same way my ancestors were doing rum is the way he was doing rum. You know what I mean? So that's the type of rum we're doing. So we're not doing a rum that just, I'm making rum. It's a rum that has a heart. It has a soul. It belongs to St Lucia, even if it's been done in Scotland. Yes, it's got that history, that heart, that soul. It's got that. So we cannot just say we mass producing and sending everywhere. We will do that. Don't get me wrong, but we'll not put that label on it. So when we hit these markets, we're looking not to send 20,000 containers. You know what I mean? We're looking to send maybe 1 container.
Got you.
Yeah.
It's almost like an acquired taste, a luxury.
Yes, you must be able to appreciate it, and when anybody who's sipping it gotta be able to taste the story, taste the heart, taste the soul of that rum. So it's no rush to get every single market, but when we get it, we want to get it at a premium, which is what I did in Scotland. Is the prestigious hotels out here, the Hiltons, the little not the little, the independent hotels that when you come to Scotland, that's where you would like to stay. That's the places who has it in Scotland. The bars, the pubs that has it is not just everywhere where everybody goes to just drink that has it. So that's how we have it in Scotland, and we're going to continue that theme. Even in France, we have it in the small shops. I don't know what they call them in France, but that's where we have it. And the thing about it also, it's almost guaranteed orders when you have these people. Whereas if you have all the places that have 1,000 rums and 220, all the different rums and all the different things, you wait at least 6 months before you get a repeat order. Because when you put it in these shops, they are your salesperson. They are the ones. They feel that when you give them the story, that story, they're able to pass it on to every customer that come in and looking for something special. Because that rum will be special. It will not be a rum that's everybody know about.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's an important lesson. And then my next question, you'll open the floor for other lessons that you've learned in business. But I think that's an important lesson. Because sometimes we as business people think that our product is for everybody. And that's not true. You know, it's only for those who value it.
Yes. Yeah, you need to also, the thing about it is not just only those who value it, because some people will do that say that same exact thing, right? Those who value it, and they'll right away, I try and pitch it to you and you say, nah, I don't like it. And I'll be like,
right.
It's not for you then. If I say, oh, it's not for you then, and I walk away, right? That's bad business also.
Well, that's true.
I need to find out, hey, tell me why you didn't like it. Or is there anything that will be changed? Just so I could do it. It's like market research on the fly. You know what I mean?
That's true.
What's the reason why? And basically just trying to get some data about you. What type of rum do you normally drink? If I have that data, then it helped me target my audience. Know that, okay, maybe I shouldn't waste my time with you because first of all, you don't drink.
Right.
You let me know that, oh, he does not drink. Don't waste my time on people who don't drink. You know what I mean? Because
exactly.
I'm alcohol. So if I collect that data, if I just say, oh, if you right away say, nah, not for me. And I was like, yeah, not for you then. And I walk away without collecting that data. Then I don't know.
Exactly.
What's my target? Yeah, what's my
target? You've not learned anything.
Nothing. So is that, and also when you do find out who your rum is for, who appreciates your rum, make them feel special. Make them know that you appreciate them just as much as you appreciate the rum. Because it's not about, the rum is getting sold, so that's okay. Let these customers know, let these clients know, hey, I appreciate you. Without even using the words. It's simple stuff like, just say, hey, like for instance, my bottle shops, I normally go and be like, I'm showing up on Saturday. I want to do a tasting. They're like, you? I thought you sent people. I'm like, no, I want to come to that bottle shop and stand there and let other people try and sell the product. And they appreciate that because I bring customers to their place knowing that I am standing there. The person who produced the rum is standing in their shop rather than a salesperson. So that's a big thank you, and they appreciate that.
It has a personal touch, like you said.
Yes.
It has a feel.
So for instance, if I go to France and I know one of the shops have it, I will just walk into the shop and be like, yeah, I'll do a tasting, and I'll just send them free bottles after whatever amount of bottles I used for sampling. I just send it to them when I came back to Scotland. So it's one of the things. I'm on vacation. Oh, you got my rum? I will do a few hours standing here, letting people try it and talking to them. Easy.
Beautiful.
And it costs nothing.
Absolutely. Only your time and your effort.
And it comes back tenfold, because while I'm standing there, I will sell everything on the shelf.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Somebody is watching this episode and is interested in not just getting your rum, but in contact with you to learn about business, to learn about development, because you've gone through so much and you've still come through. How can they get in contact with you or buy your product?
Yeah, first thing I'd like to say is, I don't think I've learned much. I still don't know business, even if I've been doing it that long. I still don't feel there's so much to learn still. There's so much to do still. So there'll never be a point where I will know a lot or enough about business or enough about the whole structure, not only business, but everything. However, to get in contact with me, I'm on islandslice.co.uk. Directly to me is Sylvester at islandslice.co.uk. My emails, my social media, everything is managed, so you'll not be talking to me directly.
Got you.
However, that's a way to reach out to me. And if there is anybody, especially a fellow St Lucian, you know what I mean, looking for whether it's rum, because there's enough place for the market. There's only one. I don't mean to be controversial. There's only one rum distillery in St Lucia. The original rum is the enslaved Africans were making it out of whatever resources they have. Molasses that was being thrown away. I'm a direct descendant of a slave. I'm proud to say that because I'm a black man living in St Lucia. And if I trace my ancestry, it goes all the way back to when my ancestors were enslaved and brought to the Caribbean to work.
Right.
Specifically St Lucia. So what I'd say is, talk to me about rum. Talk to me about rum if you want to know anything about rum. If somebody wants to come to Scotland and they have their finances and everything and they want to learn how to make rum, I will show them everything. I will put them through the whole process and show them what I do, how I do it, everything. Because rum belongs to us. Rum belongs to us on the island. Yeah, it was taken from us, but it belongs to us. It's ours, and we are able to do this because once a basic understanding of a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of basically a basic understanding of life, you could do rum.
Wow.
Basically, anything really, anything in life, really. But not, I'm targeting rum because that's my specialty. That's what I do. So I'm on Instagram, Island Slice Rum. Same thing with Twitter, all the social media, Island Slice Rum, even LinkedIn. However, the best way to reach me directly is my direct LinkedIn, which is Sylvester Herman.
And we'll leave the links down below so that they can get easy access to that.
Yes, that would be great.
Sylvester, I just thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate this conversation. I've learned a lot, and I believe that what you're doing is not just a distillery, but you're telling St Lucian stories. And I appreciate that as a fellow St Lucian, but more importantly, as a fellow man, and to thank you for what you're doing.
Yes. Love the land that gave us birth.
For sure.
That's all I could
say. For sure. Wherever you roam.
Wherever you may roam, that's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Thank you for coming on again. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, thank you for watching. I know that you learned something. Remember to like and subscribe. We have so many more amazing guests coming your way. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, remember to like and subscribe there as well and download the episodes so you can listen on the go. Anyhow, this has been yet another Game Changers interview. I hope you enjoyed it. In fact, I know you enjoyed it. Until next time, stay hungry, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.